Thank you for joining me today. Today is just going to be a chatty get to know me video, and I haven't done a face-to-face in a while, and I'm realizing that I have had a lot of new subscribers recently, so thank you for joining my little space of the internet for your scrapping ideas and inspiration. So I just wanted to do a little kind of life update, get to know me kind of moment in order for you to just feel more comfortable following me in my adventures in this crafting journey and memory keeping that we do. So for those that are new, I'm Evie. Life with Evie is my handle. I have a corresponding blog as well, which I will say the blog has slipped through the cracks. I still just maintain my YouTube channel. But I am in my late 30s. I'm actually 39 years old. I am also a chiropractor by day. Me and my husband own our practice. So we work together, which is fabulous. And then by night, I am a memory keeper / crafter all the time. I'm a mom to a 3-year-old girl who is turning 3 actually in a few weeks or so. So it's Elsa party extravaganza that I'm in the middle of planning. Her name is Valentina. I'm a dog mom as well. For those that know me and follow me on social media, I have to say did, and hence I'm also wearing my charm. I did have a Dachshund. Her name was Zoe. She's been with me for 15 years and 6 months. And sadly, I lost her like a week ago. But I did also get a golden doodle earlier this year during quarantine, simply because I tried to adopt a second dog, and because I have a toddler, it was very hard to kind of bypass anything that could happen with a dog that you don't know their history. So puppy route we went. He's an all black golden doodle, and we named him Maui. So I just have one dog right now. So that's always a little touchy subject. Sorry if it's still new not having her around. For those of you that have lost a fur baby, it is not easy. I haven't cleaned up anything yet, and I'm still in denial. Okay. That's part's good. What else? So I reside in West Palm Beach, Florida. This is also where we own our practices in West Palm Beach. So if you're in West Palm Beach, by all means, come in and get adjusted by me. I've known Miguel, my husband, for 14 years. We actually met in grad school, and then we've been together ever since. And so, yeah, and I started my YouTube channel about 6 years ago now, I think. Yeah. And it was just an outlet for me then, and it's still an outlet for me now, to share my love for all things paper. I do planning, but it's more like memory keeping now in my planner. I'm not really good on the whole planner thing, but I mostly do like pocket page, scrapbooking, 12 by 12 layouts. I do dabble in art journaling. I need to get back into it more. This is the content that you will find here on my channel, and why you hopefully have hit the subscribe button down below. So that is a little bit about me. Anything else? Let's see. I'm a lover of coffee. Starbucks is my favorite, not Dunkin' Donuts. I love French fries and ice cream and donuts. I definitely have a sweet tooth, and which my daughter has also acquired. It's funny to see that part. And I really hope that my craftiness, it actually is rubbing off already on Valentina, which is nice to see, because sometimes in the morning the first thing she wants to do is color, and I just find it very rewarding. So my second thing I wanted to say, so I started scrapbooking a long time ago. So like I said, I'm 39 years old. I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 81. So I started scrapbooking in high school, so probably around 15, 16 years old, and this is very basic scrapbooking. I used to like cut out the silhouette of all my friends and family and put them on pattern paper. This is also back in the day when you had to send like your roll of film to get processed, and you got back like negatives and your pictures of everything, even if it was a roll that was just all crappy pictures. But I still kept them. I was always very sentimental even from then. I always used to keep ticket stubs and movie passes and, you know, wrist bracelets to stuff that I attended. I was always sentimental at heart. And I've actually been an active journaler, is that what we say? My whole life. So I have plenty of completed journals that go through probably fights with my girlfriends and fights with my boyfriends and just stuff. And so in essence, crafting for me, whether it's journaling or my scrapbooking, has always been a form of therapy. I don't know if it's a cheaper form of therapy, but it's a form of therapy. I enjoy telling the stories that have occurred And I was a scrapbooker before I had kids. I've only had a kid for 3 years. Scrapbooking has gotten easier on things that I need to scrapbook and memory keep about, but there's still plenty of your life that's worth documenting, and that's what I always hope you find inspiring about this project, or this hobby of ours as well, is that your story, your life is worth documenting. No matter how boring you think you are or not that much happens, trust me, there's plenty of stuff to still write about, journal about, document, share, because that's how we process our feelings, our thoughts. That's how, if we're mad, we get it out and do like a dump of just the word vomit that could come out. It is therapeutic. So that's how I started. My best completed scrapbook, I will say, I studied abroad, actually. Here's something about me. Twice in my schooling. First time was in Spain. So when I was 19, 20 years old, when I was in undergrad, I went to Spain for a semester. Oh my God, that scrapbook is divine. I took so many pictures. There are train passes and museum maps and business cards and pictures of food that I ate and coffees that I drank and my friends that I went with. And I put it all together. And this is back when we didn't have cell phones. So the email corresponding between my parents and the boyfriend at the time are all in that one. That one's the best. I did travel abroad too in graduate school to Brazil. I didn't do a whole scrapbook from that one, but I took tons of photos. I have a whole like Brazil photo album, but I just, and I added the stories here and there on like index cards. I just didn't do like a complete scrapbook of that one, but still memory keep the heck out of it, because a journal I took too, and that was the easiest thing to do. So Life with Evie, like I said, Evie is my name. It's a nickname actually from my middle name. It's my handle. I go by it the easiest. My first name is actually Taina. So if you're interested in mom life stuff, you gotta follow me as Taina. If you want my crafty stuff, it's Evie. I just split them up because at the time I was just Evie, everything, and everything is like my artwork and my layouts, and so Life with Evie is where you'll find all that inspiration. And I just thought at the time, this is like 5 years ago, that no one wants to see like my personal life, or sometimes you do, but so I made like a separate account, and it's called ACAFFEINATEDMOM, of all like motherhood and family stuff. I do try to blend the two. It's just hard because I just kind of feel like mostly my family and friends are here for like watching the baby grow up, and all of my subscribers want to follow because of my like portfolio that I put out there. But it's your choice. I'll leave all the links down below. But that's how Life with Evie started. And I also thought back in the day when I first started that I would kind of have a lifestyle channel where I would share things like that also are about me, like going gluten-free. That was a hard transition. I had GI problems, IBS, leaky gut, everything. And to transition out of my normal diet was hard, and I wrote about it and I did videos about it, but I never posted the videos. Or I always loved like some of these beauty gurus too, like easy makeup routines or hauls for makeup like at Ulta. Like I still shop at Ulta, but I just never posted the information about shopping with Ulta because I just felt like my channel was gearing up to just be paper crafts, which is okay. And I think I asked a few times too if people, my subbies, would mind if I would alternate like motherhood videos and stuff too, because like I did film my like birth story and stuff, but I just never posted it here. So leave me a comment down below. I'm gonna ask for a lot of comments down below if you would be interested in seeing more diverse content on this channel, because I always thought about making a second channel, but then it's hard to navigate. All it would mean is just more videos on this channel readily available, so just let me know if you would be interested in that. Where do I find my inspiration to create my designs? So I will say from the internet. I do the internet mostly because I have no in real life friends that do this hobby with me, believe it or not. My sister tries to, but she lives in New York still. And like, I used to have my caddy who lives close, well not close by, like in Miami, which is about an hour and a half for me. She used to, but life has taken her time. So I can't craft with her as much. So I look to the internet. All of my best good buddies right now are just friends from Instagram and Facebook and YouTube that we message on the side. And then you get close enough where you start texting each other. So that's a lot of where I find my inspiration from. I take plenty of screenshots. I save other people's projects in a folder. And whenever I'm looking to get started, when I have some crafty time, I scroll my phone at these screenshots, and that's how I'm able to get started. I love also following a lot of like the head designers for paper lines and stuff, like the Amy Tangerine, Maggie Holmes, who am I? I'm missing big ones. Heidi Swap, Paige Evans. So these are like some of the, you know, our inspirational other ladies, Allie Edwards, that we follow in order to grasp inspiration. But what's the next question I wanted to see? So what made me choose to do a YouTube channel? It just seemed like the next best thing for me at the time. I'm very much like, not to say headstrong, but if I can figure it out. And so I just figured out how to get the basic equipment, you know, the camera that I'm on, the tripod that I use, how to upload, you know, a movie program, editing software, and I just did it. And of course, things have improved as I've made my channel and I've been consistent with it, because that's always what I had to prove with Miguel. I had to be consistent, you know? So back in the day when I used to post 3 or 4 videos a week, you know, it showed him that I was committed to my hobby, and I was magically rewarded with a MacBook Pro. And then I got iMovie. And so now I have the next MacBook Pro, because I already had that one for 5 years and it died, and now I need a new one. So I have the new one. I still haven't upgraded my camera. This is still the first camera I've had since 5 years ago. It's going strong. It's like some Sony, what is it? A Sony, let me see, Handycam, like literally. And it has a flip screen and everything, and it works, and it's been in great pixelation the whole time for YouTube. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to start a YouTube channel, but you just have to figure it out a little bit. And there are YouTube channels out there that explain more on that. But that's how I started. Do I have a favorite holiday or life event that I like to create scrapbooks for? So I scrapbook year round. So I do what they call Project Life, which is adorned from Becky Higgins, who is the creator of Project Life. So in essence, it's pocket pages. So the format of a 12 by 12 album with these layout spreads that you just put in your 4 by 6 or 3 by 4 pictures. I have done that for 5 years as well. That's the easiest one, and it just kind of chronologically shows life and what's involved in those days of the year. I still do that even with Valentina. They are great to take a snapshot of what life looks like. I do 12 by 12 layouts, I do 6 by 8 layouts, I do 9 by 12 layouts. So I do still like the artistic format that a layout provides with cut files and pattern paper and embellishments. I love all that stuff. I also do my art journaling as well. But then on the side, like I usually make scrapbooks for like family members on their birthdays, and I try to do a culmination, kind of like almost making a book at the same time, of all the pictures, like if it's like with me and my mom and her birthday, or if it's my mom now and I do all the pictures of Valentina with her, just so that it's a personalized gift that I give. So I always do those in like a 6 by 8 format or an 8 by 8 format. Those are good. But my all-time favorite project too since scrapbooking is December Daily, which is Allie Edwards' project, and it's a project that's coming up. It documents 25 or 31, depending on how you do the projects, just the magic of the holiday season. So it doesn't always have to be Christmas or holiday related. There are stories in there that are about a bad day, or what I ate for breakfast that day, or a commute to work. Remember, that was a story that had me floored one time because it took so long to go like the 3 miles. It was ridiculous. But it doesn't always have to be Christmas or holiday related, but it's a project that this will be my 6th year doing that I'm so excited for. So those are the ones that I traditionally have going on in the works, and since it's December Daily time too, you will be seeing those videos coming up quite soon. Any advice for parents, grandparents interested in scrapbooking? So I have 2 pieces of advice. You need to figure out first if you are like a digital parent or are you a physical parent. And what I mean by that is because, like, for me and my channel, I'm a physical. I need actual product and paper and doilies and glue and stuff, and I make my images. But if you are a digital person, there are other options for you. There are apps like Project Life actually has an app where you can already make these layouts and add your journaling, meaning the story that goes along with it. There are apps like Day One. There is another app that I also know I've tried. I'll leave the, some of the description, some of this information in the description box. That you can do it on your phone is what I'm getting to, is that you can kind of like pick a photo and then tell the silly story or the sad story or the great adventure that you went on right on your phone, and then you have the ability to print it into different sizes on paper and then start accumulating it in an album. There are also apps out there, like I think a few of them I know offhand. Chatbooks. I used to do Chatbooks, so if you are a mom or a parent grandparent that posts a lot of photos to like your Instagram or Facebook account, and you don't want to do a second step, these apps like link up to your social media, and for every 50 pictures or so that you post, it'll make it into a book, and with your captions and everything that you've already kind of labeled for your post will get replicated into a little mini book. I've done Chatbooks linked to my Instagram account, and you can, the day that they kind of notice, okay, this is like picture 50, they let you kind of rearrange photos if you need to, or take away some and maybe rearrange them to whichever one will become like your cover for that photo, for that album. And then they send you like little, I think it's 5x5 books, and then they just line up and you go. So there's no added step, and I believe it was like $10 or $15 a month in order to have them sort of printed, which is a great idea for my digital families. For my physical families, all I would start saying is that you need to print your photos. Get them off your phone, get them off your computer, because also what has happened to me, in which I think I become such an advocate for it, is that through my graduate school years, so that's 10 years of my life, my hard drive like got smashed, fried, something within a move, and my laptop fell and shattered and nothing was retrieved. I lost 10 years of photos of my life. And when that happened, like, I was pissed and mad and disappointed in myself that I never printed anything during graduate school. I was a journaler at the time. You know, I just journaled, and I didn't want to bring like all this stuff to school all the time. I was living in Daytona. I moved many times. So for my physical people, get them off your phone. Print them. Send them off to Walgreens, Costco, Target, wherever they print. Print your photos. Honestly, get a basic album and a pack of index cards, because index cards are also 4x6. They have lines, and you can just start telling the story with the photo that goes with it, and just get them off your phone so that you can start having these memory books to flip through for your kids, for your grandparents, for the family that comes over during the holidays. You will start to get into a habit with this hobby. And it becomes easier. And I would say start there as far as printing your photos, because that's, you can do it as least as like 15 cents per picture. And I do still do that because I may have a printer here for photos, but I don't want to kill my ink. So when there's like a 50% off coupon, like right now at Walgreens they're 10 cents a piece. So I'll send a batch to go, print your photos, write the stories on index cards, keep it white, and get a basic like 4x6 album, maybe that is 2-tiered. I always have some around, but I don't want to move. And just kind of start there. As you see that you get habitual with it, you know, then start investing in some of the funky stickers and an alphabet set to like make title cards, or, you know, the cute embellishments that can kind of go along with it, or a pad of pattern paper, because they are sometimes an investment too. But start there, and at least you're just starting to memory keep and document your life, and you'll be so glad that you did. So that is my advice, just to get started for the physicals, is just start printing the photos, get them off your computer, get them off your phone, get a basic album and index cards, and you'll start there. And if you're a digital person, link these apps that like I said, I'll leave down below some of the names that I recall, and just save them on your phone and send them to print, and you'll just start getting in this habit. And for me too, like sometimes weeks are crazy. I might do batch pages and work on those apps and stuff if I was that person, and then, you know, go from there. Or even so, just do like the fun events all the time, you know, like when you go to the pumpkin patch, or when you go see Santa Claus, or when the grandparents come to visit, you know, document those events, and you'll be happy to look back on them. Because I tell you, that's probably the best joy that I get now, is like when Miguel takes an album off the shelf and flips through it, or Valentina, because she can identify her aunts and uncles and cousins and names. That's why I do it, because it brings me joy, so that you can still look back at 2016 album and we can still say life was good. And oh yeah, I remember that happened that year. Or yeah, it's already been like 4 years since that happened. That's why I do it. And it's really fulfilling for me in that regard. Next question. With all the different options to express creativity, why do I choose paper? I think I've always loved paper. My mom always encouraged it. I was totally, my sister too. We were those kids that carried around our backpacks filled with coloring books and crayons and pencils, and I always had a composition notebook. And I remember she always, like, whenever I finished one, she got me a new one, you know what I mean? And that stayed with me. And I think when having the option, even in school, I was an art student most of my collegiate years, but I didn't want to go to art school at the time because I didn't think my creativity was good enough at the time, and or I didn't feel like I was creative with deadlines. So if I had a project, here, read this poem, interpret it, and give me a project on Friday, like I didn't feel like I would buckle under that kind of pressure, if you knew, like, because I know myself. So I just went to school for chiropractic and did all the science classes. And then I've always just stayed, like I said, I've always been the sentimental type. I'm always very invested in people, in my friendships, in my family. So when we've gotten into fights or arguments, they would weigh heavily on me all the time, my whole life. And I would write them, like, these problems I would have out. Or when things were really good, I would reflect on it in gratitude. So that's why I always chose paper, because it was just easier for me to do. I can keep up with it, and there's so much pretty stuff available now, like, that it just gets better and better. I've curbed my spending habits this year and last year. I've been stash diving a lot because I became engulfed with product because I was on so many design teams at one point, and so many people asked me to review their products that it became overwhelming and too much. So this year, COVID, I pick and select now which design teams I want to be on, and it's usually just one at a time so that I don't feel overwhelmed with deadlines too, and pick and choose what products I want to feature, especially if I like them, because I don't want to recommend anything that isn't good. I don't want to recommend anything that might waste your money. So there have been times when things come sent to me like, oh, review. I know what happened, like these chalk markers and stuff that were coming in. I was supposed to do these projects, and I got all sorts of fun stuff to make signs and blah, blah, blah. And all of these chalk markers were dried up. I was like, I can't review that. Like the product doesn't even work. Like, thanks for the markers, but there's no going forward here unless you want to send me a new one. But then I wouldn't rightfully want to recommend it anyway, because I already had a batch that were all dried up. You know what I mean? So that's where that comes into play, where if I don't like it, you're not going to see me use it. So just know that. And then the last question I wanted to answer was, what other products and or endeavors am I working on with Life with Evie? So I would say this is like a 3-part question answer. One, I would definitely, and this is where I need some comments down below, like to start offering workshops / online classes hosted by me. Now, in the community, some of our fellow YouTubers have taken this upon themselves, and they have been offering amazing content as far as like a paid workshop where you can go at your own pace. There is 10 videos or so of content for you to go. There's downloads and cut files and supply lists, and they are superb. And so I know I could offer a good workshop as well. And so it's just an idea to have, and let me know down below if you'd be interested in a workshop hosted by me. Because I do have a few ideas, and it just takes A, the time, B, to make it as professional of content and that you would want to invest your money in, and make it at an affordable price. I feel like, though that me as YouTubers and other creators do this, at least for me, it's not like I make tons of money doing YouTube. It's not like that at all. It's a hobby. It truly is a hobby. And so I feel like some of the creators that are able to, the creators that are able to offer workshops at this point, it's just an outlet to kind of make this really like a side income for us. And so that was my, kind of inkling on it. Like, I can do it. I can offer some bomb classes, charge a reasonable price, just like I would pay, like $20, $30, $40, and then kind of see how it goes. And if one blows up, then I know I can make a continuation workshop on that topic, which is the ideal thing. So that's the first thing. Should I offer workshops / classes? I do feel like I'm going to do this avenue. I just want some feedback down below. Also, the second thing is that using the platform called Patreon. Now, I have been a subscriber myself to other creators on Patreon. And similarly, it's just an avenue to make some side income. Like I said, this is truly a hobby slash thing on YouTube. And if some creators need to make it more of a sustainable income, I completely understand why you're going there. So Patreon is also an option for me. If you're unfamiliar with Patreon, it's a website or a platform that you go and subscribe to a creator with money. So, and creators usually offer different tiers. So say like $1 a month, you get A and B content in addition. For $5, they get A, B plus C and D. And then for like $10 a month or something, you offer like A, B, C, D, E, F kind of options for your patrons. It's great. Like I follow a bunch of people. Some people offer printables, or it's like an hour like Zoom one-on-one call with the creator kind of thing, which is amazing too, because you get to ask all your questions that you have. So it makes the website slash platform very personal. And so I've been thinking about Patreon for a while. My only feel with Patreon is that because a lot of it is behind the scenes, extra content on things that are coming. And so that would be my only kind of fear to it, is like to be consistent enough to make it valuable for my subscriber. So let me know down below. Would you be more interested in a workshop, or more interested seeing me on Patreon, in which you would get more intimate with Ma? Is the options. And then my third thing I was thinking about recently to kind of figure out or complete was going back to blogging. And what I mean by that is because I used to use just Blogger, which is a free platform. And when I say free, meaning that I didn't have to host it or do anything, it was lifewithevie@blogspot.com. But you can't monetize a free blog site. So what I mean by that, again, just thinking on how to monetize my hobby into a side income, to figure out a way, like website hosting. Like I know there's like WordPress and Squarespace and all these other kind of ones where you can buy your domain name, and then you can choose advertisements that are on your sidebars, or also just kind of have like the how do they say, the traffic to your site for product reviews and links and affiliate links. So that's where monetizing your blog comes into play. So I would want to go back to blogging and really make it a conscious effort where you would see more, pictures. It would be, and I'm a good writer. I used to love that part. And I even still, like I said, I'm a journaler. I've been a writer all my life. And I'll probably write a memoir one day, but like I enjoyed blogs. Now don't get me wrong. Previous to becoming a mom, I used to read so many blogs. I was all about the blog plus your YouTube channel. These days I find like I've steered away from some blogs, even though right now I follow a lot of like kindergarten teachers and preschool teachers and homeschooling mommies in order to do projects at home with the baby, to make her smart. But I feel like I can go back to blogging easier too. And I was just wondering if blogs were even worth doing. Do you still read blogs? Would it be worth it for me to have a blog that you would go to? So just let me know down below. So thank you for joining me. I hope you got to know me a little bit better. Please leave me any comments or feedback down below. Like I said, classes, workshops, Patreon, blog. Would you read a blog? Let me know. And then any other questions you want to have. I probably can do Q&As later too, because sometimes I get questions on my Instagram. I could probably get into that a little bit more. But yeah, I hope for those that are new to my channel, you have a face to go with the hands that you see all the time in my videos. I hope you've enjoyed your time with me, and until next time, ta-ta.